Hey everyone, it's Lauren. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are gonna do my November wrap-up. So I have a few books to talk about for the month of November that I finished, and these are not gonna be in any certain order. They may be out of order from the order that I read them in. But I'm going to talk a little bit about each book, and then at the end I will talk about what I'm currently reading. The first book I'm going to talk about is The Heir by Keira. This buddy read with Amanda from Book Lover Amanda, and this is the next book in the selection series. Isaacson and America in the first set of books went through the selection, and then this is about their daughter Edelyn. Edelyn is going through her own selection, and this really just follows her journey. This book I did not like as much as the first three books. Edelyn just seemed very kind of stuck up and entitled, and I didn't really like her character, but I did like the guys in this book that were in the selection, and so they kind of saved the book for me a little bit. I did end up giving this 3 stars. To me it was just okay, but I really wanted more from this. Yeah, I think her character just really kind of turned me off of giving this more stars than just 3. I don't think Amanda liked it as much as I did, which that's fine. We all have different reading tastes, you know. But yeah, I think I like this a little more than she did, and I don't think she's going to continue on in this series, but I may read the next book, The Crown. So the next book I read was to go along with Historathon. I did read some historical fiction this month. This book is Irena's War, and this is by James D. Shipman. This book is about Irena Sendler. This is kind of based on her life and what she did during World War II. She was a social worker, and she also was part of the resistance, and she helped save a lot of children during World War II from the Krakow ghetto. It's based on her life. It is some fiction. I think the author did take some liberties with fictionalizing some of it, but it is based on a true story. I did not rate this. I personally don't feel comfortable rating books that are based on true stories or nonfiction books, just because I don't feel like I can really judge somebody's life, you know, and their experiences and what they've been through. But I did enjoy this. I kind of wanted more from it. It wasn't as like enthralling as I thought it would be, but it is good. It does talk about like all the things that she did and kind of her day-to-day life, as far as like what it was like to live during that time period. So it was interesting. Also, with this book, look up trigger warnings, because this did have some violence and some other triggering topics. I won't go into detail with that, but just look up trigger warnings. Hey guys, Editing Lauren here. Just wanted to say with Irena's War that there is cheating in that book, so I also wanted you to be aware of that for content purposes. I forgot to say that earlier when I was talking about the book, so I just wanted to insert that here and let you know the content. And I have my notes here, so I think I already said that. Anyway, moving on. So the next book I'm going to talk about is Her Cowboy Billionaire Best Friend by Liz Isaacson. This is sort of a Christmas story of Graham and Lainey, who are the main characters. And Graham returns to Coral Canyon after the death of his father, and he kind of takes over the energy company that his dad created. And so he's not really thrilled about it. It's not really what he wants to do, but he buys like this high-end lodge, and it's down the road from his best friend Lainey. So Lainey has kind of her own ranch that she is running, and Lainey's husband left her and her daughter. And so Lainey is trying to run this ranch by herself and take care of her daughter and stuff, and it's just a lot. Lainey starts running into all kinds of trouble with like things around the house. Her furnace goes out and all of this. Well, who comes to save the day but Graham? So Graham kind of takes in Lainey and her daughter for a period of time, and the story goes on from there. You know how it ends. But this was an okay story as well. I kind of wanted more from this also, but I mean, it was pretty good. It was entertaining. This one I gave 3 stars as well. Like I said, it was okay, but I kind of wanted more from it. The next book I'm going to talk about is The House on Foster Hill by Jamie J. Wright. This was my first Jamie J. Wright book. I had not previously read any books by this author. And I did also read this one with book lover Amanda. We did a buddy read for this one. And this one I really enjoyed. I gave this 4 stars. It was hard for me to get into at first because I feel like, especially in the first few chapters, she throws a lot at you. Like, it's kind of information overload. So you have all these characters and all this stuff going on. And this is dual timeline as well. So you're going back and forth between the stories of 2 women, and one timeline 1906 and the other timeline is present day. And you're following Ivy in 1906, and she finds a body of a woman, and there's all this mystery surrounding who this woman is and what happened to her. And Ivy kind of takes on that mystery to find out what went on with this woman and how she died and who killed her and all of this stuff. And then Kane in present day she buys this house kind of sight unseen and leaves a lot to be desired. It's kind of run down, and throughout the town, there's this mystery surrounding this house and its history. And she kind of uncovers the history of this house and what happened there and all the mysteries surrounding this house. So it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And the thing I like about this book is, like, you get the pieces of the puzzle and then it all comes together at the end. And I love books like that, where you're kind of following the story and it doesn't make sense as you're kind of reading it, but you're getting all these pieces to the puzzle. And then at the end, it all comes together and you finally see, like, oh my gosh, like, that's what's happening. So I really enjoyed this. I will continue to read Jamie J. Wright. And also, I want to say with this book as well, please look up trigger warnings. This book was a lot to unpack. There was a lot going on in this book. So please look up trigger warnings for this. I won't go into all those again here, but just please, again, look up trigger warnings for this because there was a lot in here. But yes, I do have several other Jamie J. Wright books, and I will continue to read her books. So, and I don't know if I said I gave that book 4 stars. I think I did. The next book I want to talk about is A Night Divided. I also read this one for Historathon as well, and I really enjoyed this book. This was another book from Jennifer A. Nielsen that I read. I also read Iceberg by her before, but this book is about Goethe. She's our main character, and this is during the 1960s, and there is a lot of political stuff going on in Russia, and basically the Berlin Wall goes up overnight, and Goethe's family gets divided. So A Night Divided, that pretty much is why it's called that. So anyway, Goethe's father and younger brother go to West Germany to try to find jobs and like better living conditions and stuff over there. And the Berlin Wall basically goes up overnight, and they get stuck in West Germany and they cannot come home. So Goethe, her mother, and her older brother are in East Germany. They live in East Germany, and this really talks about like Goethe and her family and what their life was like during that time. And it was just really interesting. It kept my interest the whole time. It was suspenseful at times, and I just really kept wanting to know what was going to happen. So I really recommend this book. I gave it 4 stars and really enjoyed it. This is a middle grade book, so this is a really great way to get young readers interested in history. So really enjoyed this book. The next book I want to talk about was actually a DNF. I tried this book and I got about 50% into it, and I just had to DNF it. This is a Debbie Maycomber, Angels at Christmas. Now, this book is about 3 angels, Shirley, Goodness, and Mercy, and they get up to a lot of hijinks. They come to Earth to basically answer people's prayers at Christmas time, and Debbie Maycomber has like a whole series of these stories with Shirley, Goodness, and Mercy. And I remember really liking these before. I've read a few of these books previously of hers with these characters and really enjoyed them. But my reading taste changed about a year ago, and I started reading clean books and more Christian fiction and things like that. And so I was like, oh, this will be great because it talks about the angels and it talks about Gabriel, the angel, as well. And anyway, this had some things that kind of teetered the line for me as far as the romance in this book. There is a romance between 2 characters who are in like their 30s, and the male character in that story really got on my nerves, basically. He's kind of a Scrooge, and he's got a lot going on in his life that makes him that way. And so it kind of talks about that, but he meets this woman and the romance develops very quickly, and it seemed very surface level to me, especially on his part. And he talks about wanting her to move in with him, and basically so he can get her in his bed and all of this. And there's like a heavy makeout scene that just went a little too far for me. And so it was things like that that I kind of do like a strike system, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. And this one was just almost at strike 3. And I was just like, I'm DNFing it. Like, I just don't want to read this. So anyway, I would not recommend this book because of that. But you know what you can handle. It was just too much for me personally. But you know, if you want to try this book, you know, you use your own discernment. But yeah, so the other books in this series, I don't remember content. I don't remember what they were about because I read them several years ago. So they may be a little better. I don't know. But that was this book. The next book I'm going to talk about is one that I read on my phone. So I will insert a picture here of that one. Little Girl Lost by Cheryl Bradshaw. And this book was a 5-star. I loved this book. This was a suspense mystery type book. And our main character is Georgiana Germain. And she is a police detective. Her brother-in-law is murdered at the beginning of the book. It's not a spoiler. It's in like the first chapter. And his wife is away and his daughter is there when he gets murdered, and she witnesses the murder. And I think she's like 5 years old or so. She may have been a little bit older. I can't exactly remember her age, but she witnesses the murder, and then she goes missing. So Georgiana takes on this case, and she investigates what happened to her niece. Where is she? Is she missing? Is she dead? We don't really know. And who killed her brother-in-law. So it's really suspenseful, really good. It kept me guessing. Twists and turns that I wasn't expecting, and it was so good. I love the writing, and I really want to continue on in this series. Another book I want to talk about is A Christmas by the Sea, and this was by Melody Carlson. This is a book that is a novella. It's very short. And this book, the main character is Wendy, and Wendy inherits a cottage in Maine from her family, and she goes there. Her and her son travel to Maine, and she goes there with the intention of selling this cottage. She's gonna fix it up and sell it. It's been in her family for years, and she kind of grew up going to this cottage as a child, and so she has the intention of selling it. Her husband is deceased, and she has a lot of like medical bills that she wants to pay with the money she's going to get from this cottage. So it needs a lot of renovation. So she kind of enlists the local carpenter to help her with some renovations in this cottage. They strike up a romance and everything, and it kind of goes on from there. Her son really wants to stay in this cottage. They fall in love with the small town. So yeah, it's basically a really sweet Christmas story, and I really enjoyed it. I gave that one 4 stars as well. Yeah, it was just a really cute, clean, sweet Christmas story. The next book I want to talk about is A Timeless Christmas by Alexis Stanton. This says an enchanting time travel romance, and this is from Hallmark Publishing. So this is 2 different timelines as well. It does start out in present day. This follows Megan, who is the main character, and she works at the Whitley Mansion, and which was the home of Charles Whitley. And she is a historical reenactor, so she plays the part of Mr. Whitley's assistant. Charles Whitley is from 1902, and he has this clock that he's working on, and clock is broken. He notices it's broken and he tries to fix it, and as he's trying to fix it, he's transported to present day where they're doing the reenactment and all these people are coming through and touring his house, and he's like, what's going on? And it kind of goes on from there. Him and Megan strike up this friendship, and she teaches him all about the world in present day, and he has to decide if he wants to stay in present day or go back to 1902. He has a fiance in 1902, and so anyway, this was an enjoyable book. It was clean. It was just okay to me. It wasn't anything spectacular, but I did enjoy it as just a sweet, clean Christmas read. And I did give this 3 stars, if I didn't already say that. The next book I want to talk about is Otherwise Engaged, and this was by Kellie Coates Gilbert. This book follows Lindsay, Tyler, and Jess. And yes, this is a love triangle romance. So Lindsay and Tyler are engaged, and Lindsay and Tyler go to this resort in Sun Valley, and they are planning this engagement party. Everything is great at first, and then Tyler gets really involved in like his father's business. He's supposed to take it over, and he basically doesn't have time for her while they're there. And so Lindsay goes off and tries to find her own amusement, doing other things. And she meets Jess, who is a chef at the resort, and she meets him and his friends, and they go skiing and everything. And so they all strike up a friendship, and Tyler ends up meeting Jess and his friends. He doesn't like them, of course, and they're just from 2 different worlds. And Tyler is very rich, and Lindsay is not from an affluent family, but Lindsay's mother puts a lot of pressure on her to marry Tyler so she can have a financially secure future. And Lindsay really wants to become a jewelry designer, and her mother doesn't want her to do that because she doesn't think that is a good financially secure future for her. Lindsay and Tyler's mom really take over this wedding planning and engagement party planning, and Lindsay comes to see that like Tyler is not really who she thought he was, and that she doesn't really want the future with him. She really wants kind of her own independence, and she wants to follow her dreams, and she really realizes that. I gave this book 3 stars, and the thing that I didn't like about this book is that Lindsay starts to have feelings for Jess while she is still engaged to Tyler, and I almost feel like she kind of led Tyler on for too long. And I feel like things kind of progressed with Jess before she even really told Tyler that she had feelings for him. So it was just like, I feel like she waited too long to talk to him about her feelings for Jess. That's why I gave it 3 stars. And I just didn't really like Tyler's character, which you're not supposed to. The author did that on purpose. But I didn't like his character. I feel like the relationship went on too long, and I didn't like. I don't really particularly like the cheating trope, so that is there as well. The next book I want to talk about is The Mystery Guest by Nita Prose. This is a novella companion novel to the series The Maid, and I really liked The Maid and The Mystery Guest. Those are the first two books in the series. I really enjoyed those books. Molly the Maid is the main character, and Molly is a neurodivergent character, so I love that representation as well. She's just a very likable character, and I really have enjoyed those novels. This is a short novella that is set at Christmas time, and this was cute as well. I gave this 4 stars, really enjoyed it. There were a couple parts that kind of teetered the line for me, but as far as content goes, but it didn't go too far for me. It wasn't too much for me. Molly and Juan Manuel work at the Regency Grand Hotel. Molly is a maid, and Juan Manuel works as a chef. It's about the Secret Santa that they do every year at the hotel, and this year the Secret Santa is full of surprises, and this was just a really cute, sweet, quick holiday story, and I highly recommend it. It was so cute, and I really enjoyed it. The next book I want to talk about, Dreaming of Her Cowboy's Kiss, and this book I listened to on audio. This book is by Jessie Gussman, and the main characters were Ruby and Ethan. And Ruby is getting married and finds out the groom is cheating on her before the wedding. So again, I don't like the cheating trope, but this didn't really, it was at the very beginning of the book, so it's not a spoiler. And it kind of said it, and then it was over. Like, it didn't drag on with that part of the story. So Ethan and Ruby have been friends for a long time, and Ruby gets really upset, of course, finding out that her fiance has cheated on her, and she runs into Ethan at the wedding, and he offers her comfort and everything. When she really needs it the most, he's there for her. So he helps her get away. And so Ruby is a surgeon and Ethan is a cowboy, and he works with underprivileged children, kind of on the side, and he runs a camp for them to kind of learn new skills and things that they wouldn't typically learn, like in school and everything. And oh, hello, hey Cash. So he enlists Ruby this year to help him out in the camp, and she uses her skills as a surgeon to teach the kids some things that will be useful. She teaches them like about, you know, body parts, like your muscles and what they do and different things like that. So it was a really cute story. I ended up giving that one 3 stars. It was a really cute Christmas romance, but nothing earth-shattering or anything like that. So I did enjoy that book, and I would recommend it. There were some light faith elements in there, which is always great. So I would recommend that one as well. Okay, and then the last book I want to talk about is Just Don't Fall. You guys saw this in my vlog that I did this month, and 5 stars. Absolutely love this. This is by Emma St. Clair, and I believe this is my 2nd book by Emma St. Clair, and I just love her writing. Like, I definitely want to continue with her books because I just love her writing. I love this series. This is from the Sweater Weather series. And I believe this is the first book from the Sweater Weather series. I read book 2 as well and really enjoyed that one, but this one was so good. So this is about Logan and Parker, and Logan is the social media manager for the Appies, which is the local hockey team in Harvest Hollow. And Logan is a former NHL player. He is kind of on loan from the NHL. He played for the Hurricanes, and so he's kind of on loan right now because he had a confrontation with a fan. So he is playing for the Appies, and he's the new guy on the team, and he's really kind of warming up to them and finding his place among the team and the guys. Parker and he grew up together. Logan was best friends with Parker's brother growing up, and so he's come back to Harvest Hollow to play for the Appies. And since Logan is the social media manager for them, she's really involved with the team, and things go on from there. She needs a date to her father's birthday party, and who does she enlist but Logan? So they have this fake dating relationship, and this was just a good, clean, fun story. I loved the humor. This is a rom-com, so I loved this story. It kept me engaged the whole time, and I just needed to know how it ended. And you guys heard me quote a little bit from this book in my last video. If you haven't watched that, please go check it out. But yes, this is just everything I could want in a rom-com. Both the main characters I just absolutely loved, and I would highly recommend this book and this series. I also finished the book of 1 Kings in the Bible this morning, so that is another book I wanted to mention as well. So those are all the books that I read in the month of November. I cannot even believe that I read that much in November. Like, who am I? That is just unheard of for me. But I also want to mention real quick the books that I'm currently reading. So I'm reading the third book, A Grim Warning in the Land of Stories series by Chris Colfer. This is a series that I have read the first 2 books from in the past, and I don't remember the magic content in here, how that is. So I can't recommend this yet because I don't exactly know like the content, the magic system, like how all of that is yet, but I am reading it, so I'll be able to tell you by the end of next month, by the end of December, kind of what I thought of it. The next book I'm currently reading is The Christmas Shoes, and this book is so good so far. Somebody said on the video that I talked about this in, to grab your tissues because this is a tearjerker, and I definitely can see that. This is so good so far. I'm halfway through it, and I definitely will have it in my December wrap up to let you know what I thought of it. I didn't even say The Christmas Shoes is by Donna Van Leer as well. The next book I'm reading is The Romanov Sisters by Helen Rappaport. And this is a book that I got at Goodwill, I think. I love reading about history, biographies, different time periods, and this just caught my eye. I read a book called Romanov by Nadine Brandes and really enjoyed it, and so it got me wanting to read more about the Romanov family and kind of that time period in history. So far, I'm really enjoying this. I'm about halfway through, and so far it's really good, but I was just interested to learn more about this family and about this time period and what was going on in Russia during this time and everything. So thought I would pick this up and give it a try. The last book I am currently reading is The Spectacular by Fiona Davis. I have read several of Fiona Davis's books before and I really liked them, but again, it's been a few years since I've read them and I don't remember as far as content. So far, this one is clean. There has not been any language in it, and so far I'm really enjoying this one. And that is all the books I read in November. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Stay tuned for more videos coming up in December. Please like and subscribe. Just comment below with some kind of Christmas emoji. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.